Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Anybody want some green justice? But no.
Wrong. Hey, that's the wrong feed, bro. Green Justice would be DC.
I know. But
Anybody want me to crush them?
Matt does, because we get more Matt than Daredevil this week. All right, kids. That's right, because welcome back.
We're tapping our way downtown. Welcome back to the Devil You Know.
The Daredevil Podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always,
She
crushing
also
men
wants
herself.
to be crushed by mommy. Lilith Hellfire, y'all.
The little mummy with the big crush. It is. That's right, kids. So we're going to be doing more She-Hulk tonight with She-Hulk 8 through 10 from 2014.
Get into it. It's almost time, guys.
That's right. Oh yes, if you're hearing this on the podcast, I think this should come out next week. So She-Hulk will be out tomorrow, kids.
Congratulations, you made it.
I kind of like that. I don't know if I guess they're moving their show schedules to Thursday instead of Wednesday, like others.
So they have a whole weekend. Yeah.
Well, like Paramount has stuff to do, and two, if you have like a superhero show, put it on a Thursday. Don't put it on Wednesday. Some of us are reading comics on Wednesday. Come on.
Exactly. Although most of the MCU fans, not really.
I know, but Disney.
To be fair, it's
Disney,
like you and Charlie at that point.
Disney, remember, some of us are reading comics. Come on.
Some of us are also supporting your failing branch of publishing. All comics are failing at this point.
Your tax shelter.
I mean, at this point, that's what DC is for Warner's, but we'll talk about that on Capes.
Oh my God. Our modern world, there's people who always argue any point. You know, you see there's people on Twitter now, they're arguing, Ezra's being framed. I'm like, by who? Warner's don't want this bad
by
publicity.
His split personality? I guess. I guarantee you.
But who's he being framed by? Warner's? They don't want this publicity. I mean,
he took cash from Marvel to be this way. Y'all laughing.
Come on, guy.
I say crazy things and then crazy things happen. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, I was gonna.
I'm
Marvel,
just saying.
Marvel's gonna marvel. No one bats an eye. Ezra Miller. And everyone loses their minds. All right. So, should we get to some She-Hulk? Because again, no new issue. We should have the new issue of Daredevil next episode of
Allegedly.
Well, no.
I know, I'm just joking.
I think it comes out next week. So,
allegedly. When's that Elektra book coming?
Is there? Did they say there's an Elektra book coming?
There clearly should be an Elektra book coming. Is what I'm saying.
I just wonder if maybe they're gonna forward this hands. They're gonna go through with this hand stuff first.
The poor old Punisher off on her. Okay, gotcha.
I know there's gonna be a reason why, her and Matt split up or whatever. That's what I'm thinking.
He's got to pop Viagra now because of some guilty thing about whatever guilty thing he's guilty of this year.
Yeah. All right, but let's get to our She-Hulk issues.
Smash it.
Law drama, kids. All right, so
better than Ally McBeal, as we discussed previously
of course,
on Spider-Cast.
Yes. All right, so She-Hulk number 8 from where's my cover bait? November 2014. The Good Old Days, Part 1.
Uh-oh.
Writer Charles Soule, penciler and inker Javier Pulido, colorist Mansa Vincenti, Clayton Cowles letterer and editor Janine Schaefer.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So 3 weeks ago, at the Sisters of Mercy Hospice in San Francisco, an elderly man is called in his family, the police, and a lawyer to make a dying confession before the end. Much to everyone's surprise, what he has to say happens to involve Captain America. To Lilith's delight.
Yep, you already know. I was like, oh, okay, Phil, I got you. I don't feel bad about superhero movies now.
What came first, the superhero movie brackets or Captain America?
It all comes back to Cap.
It's a never-ending cycle of salty and pettiness. All right, so today, at the today of 2014, at the Brooklyn Law Office of Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk is visited by Steve Rogers, who has become an elderly man and has retired from his role as Captain America.
Because he traveled back in time and stayed with, you know.
Oh no, this isn't the MC. No,
I know, I'm just joking.
No, somebody blasted him with radiation and basically destroyed that super soldier serum.
Can we do that? Can we do that in the main? Well, not Liberty of Sentinel of Liberty. Obviously not that one, but the other book.
What, Sam?
Yeah, he doesn't have a super soldier though. But I just want to put him out of his misery.
Why?
I just want to put him out of his misery. We'll talk about that.
You're a numbers woman, or is there numbers for both those books?
I said I want to put him out of his misery. It's embarrassing.
Oh, so you're saying one is selling better than the other?
Well, I already knew that, but
that's a shame. I'm like, if you're a fan of one, why can't you be,
Marvel, not fans, not the best sometimes.
I guess.
I thought DC fans were bad, but man.
Well, they're doing a crossover at some point, so.
Okay.
All right, so there's a reconnect with Patsy Walker. Oh,
it's Patsy. It's Patsy.
Don't say that. That's the magic spell to summon him.
We're doing me now.
Oh, it's 9:30 on a Thursday. He's passed out.
It's Betty Bye with my sippy bottle. And meets Jen's paralegal Angie Huang and her monkey Hee Hee. Once they sit down in Jen's office, She-Hulk is incredibly.
Excuse me, what?
Is it Hee Hee or Hey Hey or Hei? I
just mean why. Should have named it Bubbles. It's the only acceptable name for a pet monkey. That's all I'm saying.
I like it, Michael. Once they sit down in Jen's office. Oh, no, it's not Bubbles, but it's Hee Hee.
Oh. You're ignorant. That's just ignorant. That's a South Park reference, guys. Mark it down on your bingo card.
Once they sit down in Jen's office, She-Hulk is incredibly awkward dealing with Steve now that he is an elderly man. Rogers breaks the ice by pointing out that he was always an old man, but now he looks the part.
Oh, got that Viagra prescription ready.
Well, whoa.
Chris Evans will never have that problem, so it's fine.
Oh, damn.
Allegedly. Word on the curb, allegedly.
As long as Lilith Hellfire can work some dark magic.
Chris Evans can get it all day, every day.
Better have that Viagra. But what now? In a private meeting, Steve tells Jennifer about a situation that occurred in 1940 before he became Captain America. It involves a raid on a Nazi operation run by a costume Nazi operative named Sir Spritz, and Sir Spritz.
Come on, man! Might as well be named Wiener Schnitzel. Come on, man! Lederhosen, what the hell is that?
Mein Kampf. Bratwurst. And then,
Captain Bratwurst. Wait a minute. That's on my hard drive. Never mind. Sorry.
That's the secret code Lilith Hellfire uses for her.
What are you trying to enter? Strongest Avenger. No, Captain Bratwurst.
Captain Bratwurst. That's her code word on her hard drive for all fan fiction relating to.
Chris Evans can get it all day, every day. Exactly.
In the death of a young man. After he tells this story, he informs Jennifer that he needs a lawyer. Since Steve is one of her oldest friends, she agrees to take the case pro bono and then calls Angie into the boardroom. She tells her paralegal that they are taking on Steve Rogers as a client, telling her that he has been named in a wrongful death suit dating back to 1940. She tells her to get all the documents from the Los Angeles Superior Court. This comes as a shock to Angie, as she would not expect that the man who was Captain America to find himself in such a lawsuit. Jennifer begins detailing her says cause, where she says, should I be case? Planning on using Steve's recent death and resurrection to make it impossible for him to be held legally responsible. However, Steve refuses to bend the law in any such way. He wants to win on his own merit, not a technicality.
Okay, first of all, they really don't know Cap. Just saying.
What?
He would go for it. He would.
No, he would. At the end of it,
this era, yeah, he would.
I would say this isn't the best era for Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is stuff I tried to read.
they wrote him shifty as an old man. I really didn't like it. Yeah, but at least here he seems more like Steve.
At least these writers remembered.
Again, before the MCU, I mean, it seems like they're maybe going back to what I like, but like once the MCU started and they started writing him more as a soldier. Well, even like pre 9/11, they were in the like Jackson was saying.
Let's not even that's a whole dissertation about the change of the hero landscape post and living in a post 9/11 world. Seriously.
Yeah, no, my Cap is like the Cap from like the 80s up to like maybe 2000, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to be a superhero, not a soldier, kids.
Like I said, this is the stuff that I've tried to read. Like 2004, I came back like then it was like right before the MCU. I was like, oh, maybe. And
I'm telling you, start at Captain America 247 and read on. And that's not even Grunwald. That's not even Grunwald. You start with Roger Stern.
Okay.
With John Byrne art, yes, and then you.
Okay. Wait, who drew Captain America with the big titties? Who was that?
Liefeld.
Okay, it was Liefeld.
Yeah, that was.
Does Liefeld come before or after that?
Oh no! The stuff I'm telling you is like 80s. No, Liefeld was Heroes Reborn. That was
okay, mid-90s. A long time before I run into it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, I know that everybody on the internet says that's a really bad time for Cap.
Yeah, no. You can skip Heroes Reborn because No, you get Stern, JMD Mateus, Mark Grunwald, then Mark Waid's first run gets interrupted by Heroes Reborn, so you could kind of skip Heroes Reborn and come back to Waid.
Okay, sweet. Good to know. Yeah. And that was your guide to comics with Phil.
Heroes Reborn was bad for Cap.
No. I know Heroes Reborn. So
no. Because even meta commentary, first issue, he's back with Waid, and Steve's like, I can't remember any of that.
Damn.
Later that evening, She-Hulk, Patsy, and Angie go out for drinks. Lilith's like, now we're talking.
Now that's relatable.
There, Jen proposes a toast to the case that will put them on the map. Angie points out that it only will if they win it. When Patsy asks how she could consider the possibility of losing this trial, Angie points out how court trials take all sorts of twists and turns. She goes over the case against Steve, and Jennifer is surprised to see how thorough the case against Steve is. The lawyer in question also has weaved around any statute of limitations in California law so that this case can continue further. When Angie asks how Jennifer will get past the issue of being able to practice law in California, Jen decides to call in a favor. She contacts Matt Murdock.
She's desperate.
Who also has a big case coming up. She asked for him to allow her to use his firm as the firm of record. When Matt asks her for the trial details, she explains that she will be representing Steve Rogers. Before she can tell him any more, Murdock tells her that he can't help and abruptly hangs up on her. With Murdock unable to help her, She-Hulk decides to pull some other strings. Soon, Jennifer, Steve, it says Patricia, is that Patsy, and Angie are en route.
Don't call her Patricia. Everybody knows that.
That's right. Are en route to California aboard a Stark Industries aircraft.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
What is this, Spirit Air? Along the way, they begin to strategize, planning to send Patsy off somewhere to get evidence that will help out their case while everyone else is busy in court. When they arrive at LAX, they are surprised to see a throng of reporters are there waiting for them for a comment. As they are swarmed on the tarmac, Jennifer gets fed up and frightens them away. Don't make a Hulk back. Taking a limo into Hollywood, She-Hulk takes her staff and client to the law offices of Matt Rocks. Matt Rocks is
It's all good, man.
better call Rock.
Can't stop the rock. That's what the song says, bro.
Can't stop the Rock. Matt Rocks is a flamboyant duplicate of the multiple man. Ray's like, we're doing me now? It's another of his favorites. Who has opened a successful law firm. He has allowed Jen to operate out of his firm so she can represent Steve in court. When Patsy asks how Matt Rocks can exist after the original multiple man absorbed all of his duplicates after he got married and retired, Matt explains that as one of the highest paid entertainment lawyers in Hollywood, he and Madrox have a deal. He sends Jamie half of everything he earns in exchange for his continued existence.
That's not very superhero-y of him.
Slavery? What?
Yeah. That's what happens when you let, people don't think about repercussions. At least he's only keeping half. He's not keeping the whole thing. So it's just kind of like a pimp hooker situation.
Well, again, if this duplicate's going to do anything else to eat.
He can live on air.
After Matt leaves them to do their work, Patsy and Steve leave while Jennifer and Angie get down to work. They work through the entire night. After midnight, Angie sends She-Hulk to get some sleep, telling her that she is ready as she will ever be. However, it is a sleepless night for Jen, and the next morning she is ready and convinced that she is ready for this case. This confidence lasts until she enters the courtroom and sees that the prosecution's lawyer is none other than Matt Murdock.
She'll wipe the floor with him. Are you kidding me?
If you had any doubt why this is on The Devil You Know, now you know.
They thought it was just for the little cameo phone call. They didn't read it. They didn't know.
That's right, man. Gotta read it.
They're like, that's so tangential. Nah,
Yes.
Could you imagine if that was just the only cameo of Matt Murdock when we were doing this issue?
I know. So yeah, Steve Rogers was, set to his proper age in Captain America Volume 7, number 25. And this lasts until Captain America Sam Wilson, number 7. Yes, he died in Captain America Volume 5, number 25, and was, later resurrected in Captain America Reborn. Jamie Madrox absorbed all his duplicates after he married Layla Miller in X Factor 262. Oh, and then it's the continuity error where She-Hulk acts like she doesn't know Steve was old now, but she was one of the many assembled Avengers who saw him in Captain America 25. So, boy, 25s are not good for him, man. Volume 5, 25, he gets killed. Volume 7, 25, he gets
That's the joke, I guess. That's the running joke, right?
I guess, man. Unlucky 25. Is it why? Because it's is it like an inverted 52?
What if it is?
Oh, we should.
Hilarious.
Oh, I need. Okay, all you fanboys, I need examples of Marvel 25s where it does not go good for the hero.
Well, it's a multiple of 5, so it's going to be a big change usually.
Yes. Wait.
You know the whole Will Allred theory.
I, of course, love how Jordan went.
How he says, something bad's going to happen. It's got to be a multiple of 5. 20,
Yeah, exactly.
That whole thing.
Branding, kids, branding. Oh wait, I was about to say, wait a minute, was that 525? The end of one more day? No, that was 545. I'm sorry.
So close.
Damn kids and their deals with the devil. All right. So, any thoughts on this, Lilith, or should we move to the next one?
Oh yeah, we can move to the next one. This is your basic setup.
Yeah.
New York City, that whole thing.
San Francisco. All right, so the next one, She-Hulk, Volume 3, number 9. The Good Old Days, Part 2. Same creative team. Here we go. Oh, jeez. Folger versus Rogers, day 1.
Bump,
Steve-
bump. You need a little Law and
Oh,
Order stinger.
bump, bump. I know. Need the time, the date. Yeah. Steve Rogers and did you see who they added to Organized Crime? Who's going to be on season 3 of Organized Crime?
No, who?
What's his face from Arrow who played Wild Dog?
Oh, good for him.
Mm-hmm. And then like I told you, on the OG Law and Order, they're adding what's his face from Supergirl. I don't know what part he's playing. If it's like
Brooks, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a full time, if he's replacing Anthony Anderson or not, but yeah, I suppose he has a role in there. So, CW actors getting some work, kids.
Oh, Renee Ramirez.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Arrowverse actors getting some work.
Now, can someone, for the love of God, please give David Ramsey something to do?
I don't know, the way they set up the end of season 2 of Superman and Lois. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a full time gig, but I mean, I don't know if he's gonna show up there every so often on Superman and Lois in season 3, maybe.
Oh, cool.
I wonder though. I wonder if he wants to act or if he's more on the
directing
direct
side now.
more.
He's definitely on his Jason Priestley kick.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an old lady, people. I literally called somebody who opened the door for me at a Wawa, darling. It's official. I'm old. I said, thank you, darling. And my friend's like, what in the Blanche Devereaux was that? I was like, I don't know.
Did you offer them some Werther's originals from your purse?
I had eaten them all, so you know.
Ah.
I gotta go to the dollar store and get those strawberry candies, though.
The ones
I
that
assume that's where they come from. I figure if I'm actually old enough, the tin of cook, the dry
they
cookies,
just once you get old
it
enough,
just appears.
they just materialize in your house. Yes. Steve Rogers is in the middle of a wrongful death suit of Sam Folger, died in 1940. The lawsuit was filed by Harold Folger, a relative who has recently died of old age. Defending him in court is the She-Hulk. However, things are complicated as Matt Murdock is the lawyer for the prosecution. Matt Murdock has the opening statement explaining to the jury how a dying declaration is admissible in a court of law. With that out of the way, he calls the first Officer McKinley, the police officer that took Harold's deathbed statement. The officer tells the story about Steve Rogers, the man who used to be Captain America. That happened in 1940. Officer McKinley begins reading off the statement taken from Folger's deathbed. Los Angeles, 1940. Picture it.
Picture it. You beat me to it.
Los Angeles, 1940. Harold Folger admits that back in those days, he got in with a bad crowd. However, at the time, he didn't want to be a soldier, and they were paying him, giving him a roof over his head and 3 meals a day. He followed them to Los Angeles to work with them, hoping to get by until the war was over. Unfortunately, during a heated meeting with their leader, Harold went outside to get some fresh air, where he discovered that his brother Sam and his friend Steve Rogers followed him to California to talk him into coming back home. When Harold refused, Steve spoke up despite the fact that he was a scrawny young man. He was firm and to the point. It was then that one of well, if we're talking about Chris Evans, hold on. It was then that one of the other men in the meeting went outside and caught Sam and Steve talking to Harold. Sam and Steve were then hauled into the warehouse where they were questioned by the leader of the gang. Harold was sure he could have talked sense into them and let his brother into letting them let his brother and friend go. However, Steve Rogers kept on talking and talking to the point where Harold's boss pulled out a gun and shot Sam dead. Not long after, when Captain America appeared on the scene, he instantly recognized him as Steve Rogers. At the time, he kept that a secret, not wanting to tarnish the legend of the man. However, now that he was on his deathbed, he wanted the truth to be known.
Mm-hmm.
The present.
Mm-hmm.
With the testimony read aloud, Matt Murdock addresses the jury and tells them that it will be his job to convince them that this was a wrongful act and Steve was negligent. Hearing all this, Jen thinks that they will have an uphill battle ahead of them. Steve Rogers, however, is confident to see how things play themselves out. Next, Murdock calls the chief archivist of the LA police. He reads out a hard copy of the police report filed on November 6, 1940, relating to the incident. The archivist reads the report, which confirms the death, the presence of Steve Rogers, and quote Rogers as saying, "This is all my fault at the time." When Jennifer gets to cross-examine this witness and asks him about the possibility that the record was a forgery of some kind, when he admits that it is a rare occurrence, Jen ends her cross-examination.
Uh-oh, he walked into that trap.
Yep. Next, Murdock call. We need Jackie Chow's.
Exactly.
Do you see that? Do you see he's doing those commercials now?
Yes, I love it.
I'm like, man, Seinfeld got his. Let's let everyone else do their, character commercials. Too bad we don't have the Costanzas or the Seinfelds and the parents anymore.
Oh yeah, F in the chat for all those parents.
Come on, Soup Nazi, you know you want to do a commercial. Oh my God, Campbell's Soup. If you don't,
I mean, he got his own Funko Pop with this little T-shirt that I have.
he makes con appearances, man.
Does
he? Yeah, he's been here. He's been in here once or twice for Still City Con. Yeah, I think he might be showing up this time. It's this weekend. Yeah, because I know Newman's going to be here.
Newman.
Oh my God, U.S. Postal Service. You should do a commercial with.
This man does not represent us.
Next, Murdock calls up Professor Flanagan, who is part of the history department at Stanford University. He questions her regarding the date in which Steve Rogers tried to enlist in the military and subsequently volunteered for the Super Soldier program. She confirms that those events happened a week after the incident in question. After she confirms that the experiment cost a number of lives and that they often took criminal volunteers for the experiment as well. With that, Matt Murdock ends his questions. When Jennifer's turn comes up, she asks Flanagan if Patriots also signed up for that program, which he confirms. When She-Hulk asks if any such individuals are in the courtroom, the question is not answered due to an objection from Murdock. However, this is overruled, and Flanagan points out Steve Rogers as such a patriot, saying that everyone knows his story. The judge calls an end of processions for the day and states that tomorrow they will hear testimony from Steve Rogers.
Oh
boy! Back at the law offices of Matt Rocks, Jennifer begins preparing for the next day. She goes over some tips she got from Tony Stark's lawyer to try and get Matt Murdock removed from the case and getting a mistrial called. However, Steve rejects this idea, still insisting that they try and win the trial fair and square. She-Hulk assures him that it will take extra work, but she is certain that she can win this trial. However, once Steve leaves, she is certain that she is screwed. When Angie suggests that things are not that bad, Jennifer points out that it is a civil case and that Murdock only needs to give them the benefit of the doubt. She-Hulk wants to win this case because this could tarnish Captain America's legacy forever, especially since at his age he could possibly die at any moment. She then checks in on Hellcat to see how she is doing on her mission. Patsy answers her phone while breaking into a top-secret facility. She tells Jen that she can't talk and ends the call. After seeing He's drawing of a banana of an exhausted Jennifer Walters, heads out to get a few hours of sleep. Later that evening, She-Hulk is woken up by a knock on her window. When she goes to the patio, she finds Daredevil standing outside waiting for her. Oh God. How many windows of women has he been outside of in the middle of the night? Let's get that official court record.
At least 69.
Hey-oh.
How many episodes? How many issues of Daredevil are there?
Well, we just hit 650, so
there you go.
And he has that Billy Club every time. He tells her that he is not there as part of a lawyer conference, but as Daredevil. He then makes Jennifer chase him, to a technicality, across the city. When he stops, he explains that they both needed the exercise after a tense day in court. Since you won't
foreplay, baby, foreplay.
Since you won't have sex with me, that's the only other way we can get our frustration out.
Yeesh.
When Jen asks why he is prosecuting Steve Rogers, Daredevil shocks her by saying that Steve asked him to do so. She then realizes that Daredevil led her to the warehouse where everything happened all those years ago. He tells her that no matter what happens, Steve wants them both to do their best to find the truth, saying that if he won't let either of them save him, maybe he will save himself. The following day in court, when Steve Rogers is sworn in, Murdock begins his questioning Steve Rogers first, asking him if they want to go over the testimony from the day before. Steve then shocks everyone by saying that there is no need to waste everyone's time and that everything said in the testimony is true.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when Jen's looking for crap on Matt, she mentioned Shadowland, which Shadowland. And of course, sliding time when they say this happened like 70 years ago. And of course, yes, this isn't the first time they faced off in court. The first time was in She-Hulk 4. See last episode.
See what he did there?
Yes. Oh God. Matt Rock compares the elderly Steve Rogers look to Robert Redford, who appeared in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Hail Hydra. Speaking of Hydra, did you hear about Trump and those nuclear papers?
Yeesh.
Yeah. All right,
It
Lil.
just gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah. All right. So, any thoughts on this one, or should we get to the next one?
I mean, just save yourself. Like, come on, bro. Enough with the theatrics.
That's the thing with Steve, though. He would rather.
But like, let's be fair. He knows that Matt's actually an incompetent lawyer, so he's not that worried about it.
That, and he's always about the truth. He'd rather hang for the truth than like live on a lie.
Well, first of all, he out of everybody should know that the American justice. Well, oh wait, he's not a black person or anybody of color or a woman. So yeah, I think he knows things are going to come out for him just fine. Actually.
And again, he doesn't want to get off on a technicality, but didn't Matt argue some technicality to make so the statute of limitations doesn't run out?
Exactly.
It's 70 years ago. The guy didn't even. We know for a fact the guy didn't even pull the trigger. Steve Rogers did not pull the trigger. So it's like, why are we?
Again, civil suits are frivolous. This is the lesson that we pull from
this. This was just an old man with his dying breath saying "F Steve Rogers."
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Yeah. Literally.
But no, secretly, he knows Matt's a bad lawyer, so he's not worried about it. That's my headcanon, and you're gonna have to pry that out of my cold dead hands.
They kind of say that next issue, but all right. So should we wrap this up? Yes, Lil says always wrap it up.
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so.
All right, so She-Hulk Volume 3, Number 10, The Good Old Days conclusion. Looks like the same team, except we might have a new letterer, Gus Pillsbury. Woo! Little white guy. All right. During the wrongful death trial of Steve Rogers, the former Captain America drops a bombshell in the courtroom. Everything said in the deathbed confession of Harold Fogler is true. He's being cross-examined by Matt Murdock, who asks Steve if he is admitting guilt in wrongful death. Rogers says he is not. Murdock concludes his questions. When She-Hulk takes over, she asks Steve to clarify how he is not guilty of wrongful death if everything Fogler said was true. Steve explains that it wasn't even half of the story. There were parts that Harold left out. He begins explaining his side of the story. So once again, picture it. Fall 1940. The West Coast. Prior to becoming Captain America, Steve Rogers was a scrawny young man who lived in Brooklyn. Among his friends was Sam Fogler, who pulled Steve aside and asked him to travel with him to Los Angeles to try and convince his brother to come back home. Steve agreed, and even though the pair had $30 between the two of them, they managed to get there, but not without some difficulty. After watching The Mark of Zorro, oh my God.
It all goes back to Zorro.
Has any other movie in history has as much effect on pop culture as The Mark of Zorro?
I would say no.
Go ahead, throw it in. Batman, my favorite character.
You told me to throw it in.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Just when you thought you were safe. Phil's pettiness hits overdrive.
I mean, especially, if if your comic premiered any time between like the late 1930s or early 40s, yeah, Mark of Zorro played a part somewhere in your history. The pair then went about trying to find Sam's brother. Asking around, they learned that Harold was working for some shady characters working out of a warehouse. When the two tracked the location down and looked into the window, they were shocked by what they saw, realizing that if his brother were caught with this group, his life would be ruined forever. Steve originally thought they should leave Sam's brother to his fate, but agreed to try and convince him to come home nonetheless. It was then that the pair had their encounter with Harold and their failed attempt to convince him to come home. It's here that Steve begins explaining some of the facts that Harold's deathbed confession left out. The man who Harold was working for, the men who Harold were working for were Nazis under the command of the costume operative known as Sarspritz.
Captain Bratwurst.
That's right. Even when captured and faced, isn't that just a fancy German word for
sausage?
You know it, baby.
Even when captured and faced with death, Steve Rogers refused to back down. That's right. He told the masked Nazi straight to his face that his masters will lose the wars they will soon be facing. It's the best the United States has to offer. His words angered Captain Sausage to the point where he shot Sam to death in order to break Steve's courage. Now back to now. With Steve's story over, She-Hulk asks him why these facts were kept out of the police report that was read the day before. Steve refuses to tell them because the information is classified. Deadlocked, She-Hulk continues to the rest of the witnesses and pleads her case with the jury. With the day's session over, Jennifer and her friend...
Technically, it wouldn't be classified anymore because I think you can declassify after 50 years or 40 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, but does someone have to actively declassify it? I don't think it does.
I think you can request a Freedom of Information Act.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just because time was of the essence at this point.
Okay, I guess. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Jennifer and her friends return to the law office. We need to give Patsy something to do. Come on. They return to the office of Matt Rocks. There, she demands to know why Steve won't explain himself in court. She explains to him that because of this, they have nothing to prove his innocence in court. However, it's at that moment that Hellcat returns with a file she stole from a top-secret facility. This is a case file that verifies everything that Steve said in court and complements the rest of the story, or completes the rest of the story. However, during the confusion, Steve slipped away with Sam's body. During the confusion, Steve slipped away with Sam's body, and the FBI suddenly raided the warehouse. It was then that an agent of the FBI told Steve that the entire incident wasn't his fault. Having heard about what Rogers said in the warehouse, he believes that Steve should get into the military immediately. When Steve states that he would likely be ranked 4F, the FBI agent states that his boss, J. Edgar Hoover, had heard of something new was being done, hinting at the super soldier program that would ultimately turn Steve into Captain America.
Captain Plan. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Wrong one.
Why do you women do that? You're not the first one. Oh, how dare you? Steve explains that the entire episode was made classified.
You know what's funny about that, don't you?
What?
You know who they wanted to play Captain Planet in a live action?
Evans?
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth?
Yep.
Oh my. Well,
that was like literally 20 years ago though, but yeah, I'll never forget. We almost had it all.
I think he made the right choice playing Goofy Thor. Well, his bank account says thank you.
Exactly.
Steve explains that the entire episode was made classified so as not to alarm the American people that Nazi operatives were active on American soil. Nazis on American soil.
They still are. You freaking kidding me?
That would never happen these days.
I mean, we literally brought back Nazis from Germany to work on our space program. So, I mean, it's documented. It's not a conspiracy theory, but okay.
We really needed that Velcro and tag, didn't we, Lilith Hellfire?
Well, first of all, Velcro is an alien technology.
Okay,
Everybody thinks I'm joking, but it's fine. Y'all will find out eventually.
See, if you had said maybe like the smartphone or something, or like flat screen TVs, I maybe could have bought it. But Velcro,
That's why all the future is all about pajamas and no buckles or buttons. Think about it, bro. They've known since the 60s with Star Trek. It's predictive. What do they call it? Yeah, it's predictive programming. Like, come on, get with it, bro.
I like the button fly. The last thing I need down there is sharp,
That's why you have
connected
Velcro.
metal
You
teeth.
got nothing. You just got to tuck your pubes in. Yeah.
However, both Matt Rocks and Jennifer point out that there are all sorts of problems that would block them from bringing this foul into evidence. Steve tells her that he didn't have Hellcat steal the foul for the trial. He had her steal it for Jennifer to see so she can defend him in court with no doubts about Steve's innocence. The following day, both Matt and Jennifer give their closing arguments and the jury is sent into deliberations. Once the jury returns, they reach their verdict. Later, Steve, Jennifer, and Matt are taking a walk while Steve explains his entire plan. He explains that the entire trial was due to the machinations of one of his old foes. However, sending his allies to take down his enemy became a moot point once the lawsuit was filed. He needed to win his court case and selected the two lawyers that would put up a convincing trial. He selected Matt to work against him as he was capable of considering the idea that Steve was guilty. In turn, he chose Jennifer to represent him because he wanted to win. Burn.
Yep.
See, even nice guy Steve Rogers said, "Yeah, I wanted to win." Finally, he reveals the mastermind.
Matt's little ego. Womp womp womp. He didn't even get to bang Jen, so it's just like
you don't see the good in anybody, or you're a crap lawyer compared to her.
Sick to being a vigilante, see?
Finally, he reveals the mastermind behind the plot. He shows them a letter sent by his old foe, Dr. Faustus. All right, hold on.
We're doing me now?
I understood that reference.
Who orchestrated the trial in the hopes of tarnishing Captain America's legacy forever. With the full truth revealed, Steve asks his two friends if they want to help him capture Faustus. Sure enough, they do. And with She-Hulk and Matt's like, someone to beat down? I'm in. With She-Hulk and Daredevil deal with Faustus' minions, Steve shows that his age hasn't done much to diminish his strength, as he was able to knock out Faustus with a single punch.
Give him the old Sal Buscema without the Sal Buscema.
Give him the old Lilith Hellfire.
Exactly.
Oh my god. How much crap do you take in prison even though it's Steve Rogers, how much crap do you get if you're knocked out by a 90-year-old man?
Oh, you're getting your freaking cornbread taken every day, bro. Every day.
Is that code for something?
In the butt is fine.
No, cornbread can be cornbread.
Okay,
Freud. Food is really important in prison.
Oh yeah, it's currency.
Exactly.
Now that cigarettes are out of vogue, yes, it's the food.
And they can't even get e-cigarettes. That's messed up. Well, no, jails can. I don't know why prisons can't. They just want to make them miserable.
You know what? If you're like hardened criminals, like if you're doing like a life sentence or like you're going to the chair or something, they should let you smoke because it's like what are we keeping
you healthy for?
If you're on death row, you might drop dead before you get to the chair. Whoa.
Heaven forbid, save us taxpayers some money.
Exactly. If you want to smoke, if you're on death row and you want to smoke, you should be able to smoke.
Who are you, Matt Murdock? Terrible legal advice.
If anyone's listening to this in prison, they're probably like, yeah, preach. And like, yeah, send us a picture of that little hellfire. Say, yeah.
You can get these hands. That's it.
I was going to say,
for everybody.
I was going to say, I can send you some topless Charlie Esser shots if you.
He's ready. I said free Charlie.
Oh my god.
The things he'll do for cornbread.
Oh my god. Can you imagine? Autographed topless Charlie Esser pictures, the prisoners. Personalized from my cell to yours. Love, Charlie Esser.
Oh no, a pinup calendar for Charlie.
Oh.
And anybody that wants to be his pen pal, we send it to him.
In 12 different seasonal outfits. Is that what
Of course.
my
look, listen, June is the Coppertone baby recreation.
Ah. I don't think they have a dog. Tristan's just like pulling those pants down. Oh my god,
They can
October.
borrow my little piece of crap rat terrier. It's fine.
October's Halloween, man. That's his excuse to pull out, whip out the Gwenpool cosplay.
Well.
Oh my god, November.
Everything's signed with a mustache print.
November, he's dressed like a pilgrim, and you see like Tristan and Ben dressed like Native Americans. Oh my god.
Sexy pilgrim. Don't forget, sexy pilgrim.
That's right. That's right. Damn it. She-Hulk, Angie Wong, and Hellcat then return to Brooklyn, where they begin figuring out their next case. When they arrive at Jennifer's office, they notice that someone has broken in while they are gone. Opening the door, She-Hulk sees her old foe, Titania, sitting behind the desk. Titania suggests Jennifer works on the mysterious blue file next. Remember that from last episode, kids?
Nothing good comes in blue.
Hey, well.
Nothing but trouble. If it's blue, don't let it through.
Whoa. Walter White would like to have a word with you.
Case in point.
All right, Lil. Thoughts on the case of the century?
I'm a little disappointed. This could have got another issue. I mean, I wanted some more trial drama, man.
Yeah, but how far do you want to drag this out? Because they weren't gonna like smear Steve Rogers with anything like lasting.
I know that's the unfortunate thing of it all.
Because you have to show your hand. You can't drag it too long because people are gonna be like, I know how this is gonna end. He's gonna be exonerated.
He actually did it and he goes to jail. Oh wait, that's Hydra Cap. Never mind.
I mean, he kind of did it, but it's just that it's him not keeping his mouth shut.
Again, it's a civil case too. It wasn't like it was a criminal case.
And again, I mean,
it's like the OJ thing. Yeah, he got off on the criminal trial, but got convicted in the civil trial, and he's not allowed to, be on a golf course that's not a public golf course anymore.
I mean, legally he was probably an adult, but he was a stupid 18-year-old because he enlisted in the military the next week.
Yeah. I thought he enlisted when he was 17. But
oh, maybe.
I don't know. Like those so many origin stories ago, probably.
Again,
he was like underage. That's the vibes that I've always gotten.
Again, it's Peter Parker. Was he 15? Was he 16?
15.
16.
15.
Oh my god, that's what we should do for a Spider Cast. We bring different versions of the origin, and when we argue our case, you say he's 15, I say he's 16. All these damn kids getting powers.
You think it was a milestone book or something? Oh, which, by the way, you guys should totally watch the Milestone Generation documentary on HBO Max. It's very fascinating.
You know what? Yeah, I've been meaning to do that because I didn't even know it was there until like the other night. I saw a commercial for it, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's there. Oh, it's on HBO Max or whatever. I'm like, I'll watch that.
That's good. Highly recommend it. It's so tragic about McDuffie, bro. Like, hurts my heart.
Maybe
but he left behind a really great legacy and some really great people that care about that legacy. So at least we have that. Maybe
one week we'll have to do a episode of Capes or something on that special.
Yeah, sure.
Get Charlie will watch it.
Oh god, I do not need to be mansplained.
Well, Lilith, let me explain Milestone to you.
I don't think he can name one milestone. I don't even think Static is technically a milestone character. I don't think he knows that. But it would be good. It would be it's very educational, informational, and inspirational too. So.
Very good.
On that note.
Look, I'm
gonna say this. I think that it was pretty solid as far as anything with Captain America from this specific time frame could have went.
Yeah, this is one of the better. Like I said, I really didn't like.
I wish we had a little more, She-Hulk and Daredevil interaction, but
again, it was about the court case.
Like it always is. I know.
I mean, you always want more. I'd be like, hey, I could have used it. At least another. Maybe Daredevil, She-Hulk battling someone fight scene, but
Yeah. This was never going to be the kind of book, and they fight for 15 pages anyway. That's just not the vibes. So
True. All right. Anything else?
no, just give them the homework.
All right. So yes, kids, you get an extra The Devil You Know this month. So yes, next time we will be talking.
Enjoy it while it lasts, suckers.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but not really.
All right, kids. So yeah. So next time we will, in preparation for the September Chichester chat, Lilith and I will get our heads together on Daredevil 312 and 313, a two-parter Chichester. So
Say that 2 times fast.
plus, like I said, we should have the next new issue of Daredevil. So, ooh.
Born to Run. Wait a minute. That's the other guy in red. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's 650, right? It's hard to remember. I'm like, we only got one issue so far, right? So hold on. Let me look this up and maybe I'll see if I can find a price on this thing too, because it's gonna be bigger. Bigger is better.
I would like to retract that statement.
Whoa. Yes, milestone 650th giant size issue.
Giant says, man thing. Oh boy.
Come on,
You
Marvel.
know it's $10. You ain't even gotta look, bro.
It is next week. Yeah, I'm looking for a price, but it's probably it probably is. I think they could surprise us and make it a little bit cheaper.
Hell no. Hell, they gotta pay Chip, bro. Hell no. I wouldn't be surprised if it was $12.99. I'm just keeping it real.
Like I've told you before, if they were paying the crew more, that would be I wouldn't mind as much paying the extra prices if they were paying the talent, but from what you say, it sounds like they're not.
Doesn't seem like everybody's working 95,000 jobs.
Yeah, they're doing like 20 books at Marvel, then they have their own creator-owned stuff. Why am I not seeing a damn price on this?
Yeah, it's definitely $9.99 if you don't see a price.
Yeah, probably because Marvel's not listing it on any of their official websites. Yeah, all I'm seeing is August 17th. So, damn it, people. Anymore, they're just like, you'll take it and like it.
Basically.
Prices. Yeah, price. That's what I want.
It's a secret, bro. Well, they might not have a price because there's alternate covers, and usually alternate covers cost different prices. Maybe.
Maybe.
What are there, like 5? There are 4 alternate covers, right?
Or something like that. Yeah.
So that's probably why there's not a price.
Yeah,
I definitely don't want the Skrull or the Predator variant. I know that much.
Hey, Ray, tell us how.
There's a Frank Miller variant. There's like 2 of them for some reason.
Oh, it is not $9.99 Love Hellfire.
No way. It's $5.99.
$5.99.
Yeah, the basic cover, I bet.
Yeah, probably. So I'm wondering if maybe the page count isn't as big as we're thinking either. Then.
Rude.
It's
fine. I mean, fine by me. Anything to keep my accountant off my ass. So I don't
care. But again, I wonder if it's just like we're not going to advance the main story as so much because it's not going to be that long, and then we're just going to get a bunch of backups, which is fine. But I'm just like really not going to get any forward momentum.
What's the point of even saying it's $6.50?
I don't know. Because they don't have like a big, it's not the climax to some story or.
That's their fault.
They can help it where 650 falls off health. Although, like I said, they could have ran that fast Daredevil series one more issue.
Yeah. Anyway, $5.99. All right.
Again, at least we're saving money.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week, we'll do Daredevil 312 and 313, another Chichester masterpiece, and yes, Daredevil number 2/650.
And then we can go back to normal numbering and never speak of this again. And never speak of the legacy numbering again.
Lilith hate legacy number.
I do, especially when they short changes like this. Like, I think honestly, it kind of messed up Spider-Man too, but that's none of my business.
Lil feels the way about legacy numbering the way I feel like about long titles.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you'll get
and
one
Phil
more.
doesn't like it long.
But Lilith does. Hey, or so I hear on the street.
Look, that's what you play when Charlie gets out of hand, and Philip doesn't like it long.
Yes.
Because I know Lilith likes it long.
Needs to change that to Charlie.
Charlie likes to give it long. And I just,
Sucking the life force.
All right.
I reject that energy.
Hey-oh. All right, so yes, next you get one more episode in August, and then again, of course, Lilith is off in September. So for September, you will not be getting any Devil You Know, but myself, Mr. Will Allred of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast, and two of our patrons, Justin the Outlaw Good and the aforementioned Sausage King himself, will be doing a 2-part Wonder Man series covering the whole 1990.
Wonder, what's in that Wonder Ball?
Hey-oh, the whole 29 issue plus 2 annual series from the 1990s in 2 episodes. So.
Oh God, y'all are gonna be up all night doing that one.
Oh yeah, we're doing 2 episodes in a row too. No. I said I'm like we're just gonna hit the highlights. We're not going issue by issue. No, I think Ray's done it. Ray's had it with doing an extra long episode. Sorry, Connor.
Sorry you had to hear it like that, Connor.
They did like 8 hours on I forget how many parts they did the Grant Morrison Action Comics in I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't blame them. Never again on that one. Yeah.
All right, kids. So send your thoughts. Again, next episode, Daredevil 312, 313, and the new issue 650 or number 2. Hopefully it's not a number 2.
Hopefully it's not number 2.
So email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Hey, yeah, send your feedback for that Wonder Man stuff. All you old people. All right. Remember, you can follow The Devil You Know on Facebook, on Twitter. Join the Daredevil fan group on Facebook. We're close to 1,000 members. We help
if
push
you don't
us.
want your favorite Daredevil podcast canceled, you better pump those numbers up.
Well, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be just like with Spider-Man. As more and more Daredevil stuff, as we get closer to that 2024 series, oh God, the numbers will start ticking up. But we're still over a year away, so
yeah,
probably closer to 2. Anyway, so find all the links to all the various social medias, Facebook fan groups, the YouTube channel. This episode and every other episode we do gets a video on our YouTube channel. So smash that subscribe button like Lilith and She-Hulk.
Smash it.
So you never miss anything, any moments. September is coming. You want that in full crystal clear HD video, don't you, kids?
Why? Who's wearing tank tops?
What?
Why? Who's wearing tank tops?
I don't know. Like I said, Ray's going to be on the Wonder Man show.
It's wintertime there, though.
And pretty much between Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics sidekicks, we will have all of our patrons on at some point, and that other guy, Noel. So,
become a Patreon elite, damn it!
Whack! Yeah, come on, Noel. Help us buy some knees. All right, so yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, but most importantly, please subscribe to the Patreon. We aren't corrupt lawyers like Matt Murdock, so. Paying for this out of your own pocket. Every little bit helps. With $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. Speaking of Daredevil, classic Daredevil writer himself, Mr. D.D. Chichester.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
Like I said, yeah, August episode, September episode, we'll be talking some Daredevil with him. So subscribe, and of course, if that's not enough for the page to get you subscribed to the Patreon, superhero movie brackets. We'll find the worst superhero movie of all time.
What was that?
Hanging myself. So We will find the worst superhero movie of all time. The August episode will be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen verse Sin City 2 with Dame to Kill For.
What to kill for?
because
The
Frank,
alternate title.
because Frank Miller, you know what, he probably had that at the studio.
They're
It's
like,
we
no.
can't do that now.
It took like 8 years for the sequel. No.
Because Frank Miller loves women. So yes, get all that on the Patreon, or if that's not enough, pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right. If anyone wants to find an angry woman who gets angry in court, love Hellfire, where can people get a hold of you?
I reject that court energy. If you guys want to find me on the interwebs, find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69, and of course on TikTok, making all of the comments but none of the content at Lilith Hellfire69. See you later, bunkies. Either do the 6 or do the 9. I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so. Let me get a ride on your alligator back, bro. Armadillo. I'm gonna need to do the drop again.
What?
I'm gonna have to do a new armadillo drop. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Can I get a ride on your armadillo back in the middle of the desert, bro?
Let me get a ride on your armadillo back, bro.
Oh, there you go. Hey, kid, Lilith is moving to New Mexico.
No, old Mexico, sorry.
New to her Mexico.
No, I grew up in San Diego. It's not new to me at all. When people thought we were talking about running for the border, they thought we were talking about Taco Bell. No, we were talking about tequila.
Nothing's new to you. You've lived everywhere.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. We'll get one more bonus episode of DW Know this month, and then Lilith is away, and the boys will talk some Wonder Man.
Cats away, the mice will play.
Lilith disavows all knowledge of all of it.
Yes, I do. That's at Nightwing PDP, kids. Get ready.
Bunch of old men.
These hands too are also rated E for everyone.
A bunch of old men talking a bunch of old comics, kids. Tune in.
Snitches get stitches.
I told you, man, Justin is stepping up. I think he wants to join me and Charlie at least for an episode or two, or Capes, man. He's on every he's going to be on every Batman. He's going to be on the Wonder Man stuff.
He might be our new auxiliary member. I don't know. Always looking for an auxiliary member.
He's on it. He wants to be on a ton of podcasts. He says Chris Evans can get it. He is the new Lilith.
Enjoy. He better get that Grinder scholarship.
All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, it's better to be with the devil you know than the
The
devil
devil you don't.
Lilith smashed.